yo. What up, lifers? What up, lifers? What up, lifers? It's Dave Life. It's Dave Life, and you guys are watching Dave Life After Dark, episode number 245. This is Dave Life After Dark, episode number 245. Total Trust 2. Total Trust 2, men versus women. Total Trust 2, men versus women. This is a part 2 follow-up from our last episode. Look, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us tonight, so I want to say thank you. So I wanted to start this off the right way like we always do. Dear Heavenly Father, have your way, Lord. I pray that you would speak to your people. I pray that you would enlighten us, entertain us, and inform us, Lord. I pray that you would forgive us of our sins, both that we've done by commission and omission. I pray that you would be here. Take me out of the way. Less of me and more of you. Have your way. Let's have a great conversation. Let us learn some things. Let it edify and let it actually touch someone that needs to hear it. And of course, let us have fun because this is entertainment. Thank you for all things that you've given us. We thank you for everything that you've done for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen. What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Hey, listen, it's Dave Life. It's Dave Life. It's Dave Life, man. We're watching Dave Life After Dark, episode 245. Dave Life After Dark, episode number 245. Total Trust 2, men versus women. Total Trust 2, men versus women. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here tonight. I want to say thank you. If you want to support Dave Life After Dark and Dave Life TV, hit us on Cash App, $ Dave Life TV, Cash App, $ Dave Life TV, or at Venmo at Dave Life. Venmo at Dave Life. The support helps. Look, we got a great discussion that's going to happen tonight. Total Trust 2. Total Trust 2. I got some people that I need to bring to the stage that's going to help me talk about this. This guy has been traveling. He made it. I appreciate him for being here tonight. So let me bring him to the stage right now. None other than my homeboy, comedian, Tony Love.
What up?
What up, Tone?
How you doing, my friend? Everything is good.
I'm good. How you feeling, man? You all right?
Outstanding. A little tired here on the East Coast. You know, it's about 2 a.m., but we're going to make it happen.
At 2 a.m. on the East Coast. 2 a.m. on the East Coast, man. You know, I think we got somebody else on the East Coast. She's a producer, an editor, a video lady. That's what she go by. She's also just very balanced. And I think she a Pisces. Yeah? All right, I ain't gonna hold that against her. This is video lady Yvette. What's up, Yvette?
Pisces are great people. What are you talking about?
Hey, Pisces are cool. They cool. As long as you can stand them. Look, my ex was a Pisces, so that's a little, I just don't really deal with Pisces. But you great, Yvette. You right.
What's up, though? What's happening, Tony Toe?
What's up, Yvette? You all right?
I'm good.
Y'all good? Long time no see. All right, I got one more person. He's been very entertaining. I think he might give Tony a run for his money when it comes to comedy. This is his second show in a row, third show overall. Welcome to the stage, my homeboy, your friend and ours, my man Estevan the Barber, EJ. What up, S?
EJ.
What it do, man? What it do? How y'all doing?
Man.
My man S in the building. How y'all doing? You good, S?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I ain't gonna complain. Something might really go wrong.
I heard that. Look, tonight, you guys, y'all hear that? I want y'all to go ahead, pour up, get something nice going. We're gonna have a nice little discussion tonight. There's strength in numbers, but it's also strength in the quality of numbers. So tonight we got a small crew. Last show is all over the place. Is everywhere. Okay. Tonight though, we got a small crew. I have one or two more people that are still on their way. So we're gonna just get started without them. But yeah, man. So look, the subject tonight is Total Trust 2. Total Trust 2. Okay. Total Trust 2. Men versus women. Now, why are we getting into men versus women? I think it's because last night, you guys, when we discussed Risa Tisa and Who the F Did I Marry, her whole 50-part series, we discussed that. Tone, you missed it, but it was a really good show. But basically, we talked about a woman that married a man that was a pathological liar, and either she didn't realize it or she realized it too late. But she
Can y'all hear him?
Uh-uh.
Oh, they done cut him off.
He
They
said,
got that boy.
see, listen, man, the enemy trying it. It's gonna be a good show when stuff like that start happening.
Illuminati cut your ass off because you put P. Diddy up there.
All right, y'all, we back. We back. I'm trying to get this thing to go. Cool. You know what? You might be right, Tone. You might be.
Well, I'm
It might have
telling
something to do. It might have something to do with I don't care. You know why? I'm gonna do it again. You know what? Because and it's not even up there now. Oh, everything is tripping. There it is. Now I gotta get all my media set back up. Yeah. Total Trust, y'all. Total Trust 2. Total Trust 2 is what we're here to talk about. Here it is. There it is, Tone. Hey, look, I don't care what's happening, Tone. We discussing what we need to discuss tonight. All right. Total Trust 2. Last night we talked about Risa Tisa and her entire discussion on who the F did I marry. She talked about her prior marriage, how she was married to a narcissist, right? And that was a very interesting conversation. And just because I know Yvette and S, y'all both were on the show last time, since this is related to trust, what was give me a 30-second to a minute synopsis of what was going on with that lady? Was it him or was it her? What was the issue? Let's start with Estefan.
I believe it was a combination of both. She was looking for everything that he wanted to sell, and she brought wholeheartedly into it, even when she knew he was probably lying. Like she seemed like a person that is searching for somebody to validate her, and that was it. No matter what she wrote, and maybe she didn't feel that she was able to catch someone like him, and was happy to be with a man like him that looked like him.
Mm-hmm.
So she was
she
willing to do and say
whatever he was putting down, basically.
Yeah, it's like a man that messes with that at 12 or at 25. You know, she a dime piece, and he's like, I know she don't do this, but she don't cook, but goddamn, okay, she don't work. All right, we're gonna get by that. I'm keep on ignoring all the shit that's right there in front of me, and then when it finally slapped her in her face, it slapped her in the face.
Yeah. Yvette, what would be your take on last time where Risa Tisa got involved with a pathological liar? Was it more on her, more on him, or was it kind of an equal thing?
It was an equal thing, but she has to take the brunt of that because she was the one that ignored all the signs. She's seen the signs. She just wanted what she wanted at that time, and what she wanted was a relationship. So therefore she chose, because it was a choice. She chose to still give this man an opportunity, and he seen one, so he took it, and there it is. She took the L.
Yeah. For those that might have missed it, make sure you go back and check out that episode. Where is it? It's right here. Tone, you had to be there, man. There it is. Make sure you guys check out this episode right here. Boom. Yeah, that was last episode. I think it's episode 244, Total Trust versus a Legion of Lies. We said a Legion of Lies because she had named him Legion. Right? You heard about that one, Tone?
I think I seen Charlamagne the God commenting on that, and he called her a big back. That's what I heard. He said that she was a big back, and she should have known that that was coming. But I don't know. I didn't see. All I heard was that she could have played on an Alabama offensive line, and
Here we go.
she should have known.
Man, you know what's funny, man? He did call her a big back. And we're laughing because hey, we talked about it last night. It threw us all off. We were like, "Dag, why you got to call her a big back?" Yvette, just because you're the only lady on the panel, last show, do you feel like we went too far laughing at the whole big back conversation, or do you think it was justified for us to talk about it?
Well, I mean, it was justified to talk about it, but I mean, that's part of why she kind of didn't want to come out because of exactly what we did. Instead of basically commenting on her situation as we did and as she wanted, she put it out there for us to do. Everybody stated the obvious. I think sometimes you don't have to pick out the obvious. The obvious is she is a big girl. That's the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
We have to on her about it. No, I mean, these are the things that women get dealt all the time. We either tease them for the way they look, and the women have to always be so perfect in the eyes of the world, and men can have all kinds of jacked up looks. I mean, look at half the some of them look like who did it and forgot to finish.
Mm-hmm.
But let a woman look that way. And it has been that situation where women don't look good and they want to get rid of her, throw her off the news. We can't look at that face all day at 6 o'clock. I don't want to see that shit. Oops, excuse my natural.
No, we good. Go ahead, y'all. Listen, we free. We're not gonna curse too much, but hey, it's nighttime, and they know this is after dark. So put the kids to bed. Yeah. We having a real conversation. So that leads me to this question: is there a double standard when it comes to judging people in relationships? Like when we hear about relationships and we think about husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, long-term partners, man, woman. Do we have double standards as a society? Do we judge one more than the other? And if we do, on what topics do we judge one more than another?
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, if your kids grow up and they're unruly, they always blame mama.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids are unruly. Where's your mother at? Well, what happened to?
They say where your daddy at too. They say where your daddy at.
I mean, but on the most part, it's that
do we
they only
say
say where the daddy at when it's usually when they get adults. You know, like even when they really mess up, it's where the daddy at, or you must didn't have a man in the house, or that type of thing. But then you get judged for a different reason. You get judged for not being there. Like if you had the opportunity to be in your child's life and you were not there because you wanted Sue, Sally, Mae, and Becky.
No, that's not necessarily true. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to us.
Unless you make me mess up my thought here.
Yeah, you got let her finish because she was cooking.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
The thought was that we normally blame the mama when the kids are unruly, and we don't blame the daddy. Exactly. That's what you were saying.
Blame the daddy, you know. And for men, I understand what you were saying, Esteban. If you were going to say sometimes it's the woman's fault because she pushed daddy away. I understand that side too. But we're talking about in relationships who get blamed the most for things. But so now, if you got a man in the house, if you have a man in the house, and the bills are not getting paid, and the house looks like crap, and it looks like a shabby shack, then the man get blamed. Like, why he can't get off his butt and do something? Why the bill, and then it makes it harder for a woman to even ask for help if she has a man sitting there because they want to know what you're doing, why the house is falling apart. So those are the type of standards that blame comes into play that I know of. I mean, there might be more, but I don't know.
Tony, who gets blamed? Who gets blamed more? Well, actually, before I ask Tony to respond, as you said that the dad does get blamed. When does the father get blamed? In what type of situation?
I mean, I'm working in youth sports. When I did work in youth sports, I remember first thing we'd be like, "Man, where is your father?" We wouldn't be like, "Where's your mother?" You know, when the kid had a bad attitude and walked around and acting a certain way, acting real, kind of real soft, cry babies. We wouldn't be like, where's your mom? We're like, where is your daddy? So I've seen it differently. And she touched on, the other stuff, I can't necessarily say that's, why the man ain't in the house. It's it can be the relationship and within that, and then it can be some irresponsibilities on him as well. He has to take a big part of that, but at the same time, there's a reason for why some of these men ain't in that house and they ain't involved with some of these kids, unfortunately. And that right there is the sad part. I will blame that on the mother because I've been through it. I've seen it. I've seen it outside of with me dealing with other kids. So I can't put it all on that man because, like I said, I've been through different scenarios and even ones I had to deal with myself. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah. Tony, who gets blamed more? And in what situation do they get blamed more? The man or the woman in relationships?
Well, the initial question was, is there a double standard in judging?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a double standard?
Right.
I mean, absolutely. Because it's never an issue when a man is short, when a man is fat, when a man is broke, when a man is ugly, when a man is sassy. That you hear that all day, every day. Not once have I ever had heard Charlemagne the God ever had to come back on the air and apologize to a man for talking about him. But as soon as he talked about this big back linebacker, he had to go on the next day and apologize because of what he said. Because now all of a sudden we have to consider her feelings, which we do. So that's where the double standard is, because men can take rejection, men take rejection all day, every day.
Rejection and judgment.
You see what I'm saying? And so a man is conditioned by society to be able to, he has to control his emotions. Really, as a man, you have to be able to regulate your emotions. So whenever you hear all those people say those things about you, the right thing to do is act like you don't even hear it, because it don't phase you. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you call me broke, oh, you call me. I don't care nothing about that because I'm on my purpose. But when you hurt a woman's feelings and she lets it be known, society's condition to always protect women and children.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because that was going to be my question here. Is it our job? When I say our, I'm saying society. Is it our job to protect women and children? I think the answer is yes. I think that, when, as they say, when the ship goes down, they say women and children to the lifeboats first. The captain goes last. Like the leader makes sure everybody else is safe. Right. So, right. Women and children first. Right.
Okay.
Right.
If that's the case, okay. Like,
is that
front, I go.
You gender fluid when the ship is going down.
I'm flowing right to the front of this ship. Okay.
Don't say, get me up out of here. Well, okay. So look. So look, we're talking about total trust, and we're talking about men versus women. And the question was, is there a double standard in relationships? That was the first question. And Tone answered it. The answer is yes, there is. Are there double standards in society? Yes, there is. We want women to be protected as they should. And I'm gonna say this. In terms of calling Risa Tisa a big back, Charlemagne. Look, y'all, I think as men, we have to have a level of respect for women. And look, I'm not saying that Charlemagne doesn't respect women. So don't take that out of context. But what I'm saying is this microphone is powerful. These platforms, these cameras, it's super powerful. And the same way if society portrays brothers as always being criminals and gangbangers and thugs, if that's always in the movies, if that's always in the paper, if that's always in the music, if that's always what we talk about at school, little kids would be like, oh, these black men are gangbangers and thugs, right? So if we constantly call a woman that's thicker a big back, or whatever the terms are, or if we constantly call I don't know, man. Someone that's Latino or specifically Mexican, we say, oh, it's poverty, it's criminal, it's a whatever they say, that stuff can get perpetuated. So I think that Charlemagne has a responsibility to, just because he thinks she was naive because she was a thicker woman, he got to take her body image out of it.
Dave, I always love big backs in the privacy of a 2-star hotel. Like, I ain't got no issue with them.
We gonna
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're for. You know what I'm saying? To check in 2-star hotels for. But other than that, they got to know their place in society. That's why.
Hey,
I
be
see
honest
somebody.
with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Be honest with you, man. Be honest with you. Like, I think that whole situation is status and financially laced. Like that double standard, so to speak. So
Yes.
what? Let's say Lizzo. Ain't she a big back?
Yes, a very big. Yes, one of the lead big backs.
Right. He ain't call her a big back.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, that's
right. Like Lil Wayne looked like a little burn victim.
Yeah.
He ain't nothing cute about him, but because he got paper,
the finest women in the world.
Jay-Z
and
was
he
considered
still
ugly.
couldn't get it over here. I see. That's the one thing I stand on, my values and my morals. I do. No, I've had a man who had to, and first of all, I was upset with him just the way he came at me. All he had to do was say, "Sis, let me take you on a date or whatever." No, he did a whole little, "Come to my office. I'm shooting a commercial. I would like you to shoot it." So I get there, and I was putting on a fashion show. Then it was, "Oh, you don't need to do your fashion show. Why don't you wait? I'll pay for everything. I'm an $8 million man. I got a boat. I could take you and your kids." I'm like, okay, you didn't have to do all that. First of all, I don't like a man that brags about how much money you have. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to think I'm with you for your money. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather go make mine until I know you're the one. Then you're supposed to take that load off my hand.
In this society, well, that is that what he just hollered to you is something that I'm gonna say the 95% of the women would have ran with.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go do this.
Man, let me tell you.
What I'm saying? What JD say? Ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire. I'm cute.
And I was gonna get at that. Hold on, I gotta ask somebody. Tone. I see somebody waiting in the green room. You ready, big dog? All right. So coming to the stage is my homeboy from another mother. He got here last night. He was in the building. He's in here tonight. He's always the conscience of the show. It's your friend and ours, my man, Mr. Al Tariq.
What up, y'all? Let's go.
What it do, man? What it do?
Playboy?
What up,
man? I ain't mad at it.
Yes, sir.
What up?
Looking good, Mr. Tariq.
Yes.
So Al, man, thanks for.
We were just talking about Arkansas Razorbacks before you came in.
and midgets.
So I'm sure. Could you hear the conversation? You heard the conversation when you were back there in the green room.
Yep.
All right.
Midgets with money.
Yeah.
So the discussion tonight is trust. It's a continuation of last night. We're not going to necessarily focus on Risa Tisa. We covered that, okay. But the idea of trusting someone in a relationship. Total trust to men versus women. The whole point of tonight is to juxtapose how we feel about men and women in relationships. Is there a double standard in relationships? And you came in when I was going to bring up this question, Al. Who is more trusting in relationships? Who is more? I didn't say trustworthy. That's his Wi-Fi. All right. Are you on Wi-Fi? You want to go to cellular and try to turn the Wi-Fi off? See what happens?
What? I tried cellular when I first logged on. It wouldn't let me for some reason.
All right. Well, let's just see what happens.
Might be YouTube don't like me.
It could be that. It could be that, man. I don't know, but we're gonna rock with you. But I was gonna ask, who's more trusting in relationships, men or women? Not who's more trustworthy. Who is more trusting? Because we said last night, Risa Tisa was very trusting of her man, right? And he came in and he ran his game or whatever he did. But in general, and I'm going to start with you, Al, since you just got here, who's more trusting in relationships? men or women?
I think it depends on the two individuals when they come together and how they set up their dynamic together. And also it depends on the individual and what you're bringing to the table. Are you bringing baggage from your last relationship to the table? Because if you are, more than likely, you're not giving that individual that you're dealing with, you're not giving them the benefit of the doubt. You're basically making them build their trust with you instead of giving your trust to them and seeing where the trust lies. So
men make them build their trust. Is that?
Well,
come
yes,
on back.
because
it's the Wi-Fi.
Because you have two different people. You have the people who you have to build your trust to get it, and then you have people that just give you trust right off the top until you show that you're not trustworthy.
Okay. And by and large, the ones that
individuals in the dynamic.
But by and large, the ones that give trust are probably more women. Is that what you're saying, or you're saying it absolutely depends?
No, actually, I think it's the other way around. I think men, we come into relationships given 100% trust.
Mm-hmm.
And women come into relationships with the idea you have to build your trust with them.
Men trust women with their life from the beginning. The first time you slept with her without a condom, you trusted her with your life.
And that's real. Yes.
You see what I'm saying? You said,
and vice versa, because
so you mean to tell me you could trust them with your life, but not your cell phone? Something is backwards about it.
Right. Exactly. I'm with you on that one.
So I say you trust everybody, meaning you trust a snake to be a snake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Period. I should log off. I should log off on that, but I ain't gonna do it.
I think he heard me last night say the same thing.
You said that too?
He actually did. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man,
Yeah. He did.
bullshit.
He did. You know what? Shout out to S. He dropped that last night. And look, Tone, that just means y'all on the same wavelength because you thought of the same exact quote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what it is? Goddamn. I'm keeping up with you on. Go ahead.
I think Altarika is right. It depends on the individuals, and it depends on where you are in life, and it depends on because you should go in a relationship with trust. You should, because no one has had the slate should be clean coming in. It should be a clean slate when you come together, and then you build on whatever you guys create in action. So if your actions show me something different, okay, I'm gonna pull back a little bit, and I'm gonna pause, and I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna check you out. But that's the way it should be. You should not, because like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect person, male or female. So that's number one. There's no perfection here.
And individuals, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go, you can go.
An individual's trust should be assessed during the dating stages. If you haven't made it to a point where you trust your partner or that person, then you shouldn't commit to a relationship yet. Because why are you with somebody you can't trust?
But did you just hear what you said? You said dating.
Correct.
People ain't dating no more. That's part of the problem.
Well, that's
that
their
is
problem.
The big problem right there.
I got girls I've been dating for years.
See, girls, did you hear what you just said?
I got women I've been dating for years. I'm still testing out their trust.
You're supposed to vet your people, and I always say when you go on a few dates, you go on a date to see who the one you want to be with. I mean, I'm old school. I'm learning dating myself. I'm a little old school. We meet somebody, if the vibe is right, the energy is right, we go from there and see where it takes us. And that I've learned now as I've gotten older, that kind of wastes a lot of time, because if you're not the two, I'm giving you a year. It's like a year of seeing if things are going good. If things are going good, within that year, you should know if you want to continue. Some people 6 months. It depends on who you are and the time that you spend together. So everybody time limit is different. But if you're spending quality time together and you're really getting to know each other within that time frame, and you want to say, hey, you know what, we should be the one, then you should move on, and now you should be trying to seal the deal to go to the next level. But if you're jumping into bed first, because that's where the problem comes in, people jump into bed first right away, right from the rip. Now hearts and emotions and sex and slob and moistures and all kinds of stuff that got into the game.
Hell
Now you done messed up your thought process because you're not thinking properly anymore. You're not looking at all the signs anymore.
Well, I think one thing is, and I'll play devil's advocate with you. When you're in a relationship and you're meeting someone, I think your vetting process that's key to trust. I mean, because if you meet me, I mean, what's your vetting process? Are you going on the internet and are you paying for my background checks and are you doing all of this and that? Or are you listening to me and you're looking at my eyes and my body movement when we're having a conversation to try to figure out where we're going together as a unit? So
I'm looking at you and I'm watching your actions. Like I said, my decisions are not snap judgment. All that comes by spending time. And that's what people are not doing. You have to spend quality time. See, a first date shouldn't be going to a movie. Why? Because you're going to a movie, you're sitting in the dark, you're not even having a conversation. I don't know nothing about you. All right.
Exactly.
So, and all that conversations that we had before, taking me to dinner, you don't even have to go spend $100 and $200 on our first dinner, because if you're dating, you're taking me on the first date to see. We could go to a coffee shop, sit, talk, and have a conversation. We can go to a wine bar and have a drink and have a conversation. That's a getting to know, because why should I waste your time and your money and my time with you and I don't even like you?
Well, I had the scenario once, and I brought this up recently. Here's my deal with that. By the time we go out on our first date, between the time that you gave me your number and the time we went out on our first date, what the hell are we talking about? I've talked to you on the phone at least 3, 4, 5 times. So during those phone conversations is where you're spending the time to try to get to know one another, to put your best foot forward to that individual. So by the time you get to that date, y'all should feel like that y'all somewhat know each other.
Should have a great idea.
That's a fair observation, but that's phone. Like, I mean, the good thing is we have video phone. I can watch you and talk to you on video. Sometimes some people don't want to do that. So it just depends on the people. I'm not always in position, myself, I'm not in position to half the time talk on video because I'm moving, I'm driving or whatever. So depends on your job, your occupation. You might not have that luxury. So it might be. Now, I just got cursed. I just got cursed out 2 weeks ago from some guy I met. This is funny to me though. I haven't met him yet. It was on one of the dating things, and Valentine's Day he had shoot me a hello, whatever, the day after Valentine's Day. I said, I'm not on here often, which I'm not. I'm not on here often. I don't check this all the time. And I always say that I don't have time. So I said, but I'll try to call you. No, he said, let's not waste time. He sent that to me, but I didn't see it till like 10 days later. Let's not waste time. And I finally seen that. And I'm like, okay, I will try to call you tomorrow. I will try. I didn't call him tomorrow. I called him when I had literally a free moment where I wasn't driving. I could sit, I can talk, but he don't know me. So when I did call and say that to him, he goes, you know what? You sound like you're a cool person, but your actions already showed me that you're not really ready to date because you don't have time for anybody. So you shouldn't even be out here giving your information out. And I mean, he just chewed me out. I'm like, well, hold up, Kimasabi. He goes, then I said, well, I work doing this. My phone have to be on silent. He goes, you sound like you got a whole bunch of excuses. I'm like, okay. And I tried to change the conversation. So how you doing today? Where you live, trying to switch out the conversation because he's just coming. And I was like, well, already. So you're right. At that instant, I already see that you're not trying to hear it. You're combative. you've already done judge me without knowing me just because of that one action. You're not even trying to hear me. Not everybody's life is conducive to being on the phone 24/7 and available. Plus, when I get home, if I don't know you as a woman, I am not calling you at 10 o'clock at night. I'm not calling you at 11 o'clock at night because that insinuates something else. That's just my thinking, and I think that's proper etiquette, which has gone out the window, which is another problem. Etiquette. What's a good time to call and talk to people?
So let me jump in here for a moment. Just to remind everybody what we're talking about. We're discussing total trust, men versus women. That's the conversation. Total trust, men versus women, and we're now getting into who is more trusting, men or women. And this is Dave Life After Dark, episode number 245. Okay, who's more trusting, men or women? We've said that there's some double standards. We said that that things can be different, and what I just heard from Yvette is there's also a difference in expectations and a difference in pedigree, if you will. You know, hey, we from the old school. We expect certain things. We do things in certain ways. All right, now Al had an expectation, and I'm circling us back so we can get to the clip because there's a clip that I want to discuss. Al has an expectation of let's get to know each other before the first date. Like, we should be talking. We should be getting to know each other. Why are we wasting so much time when we can have valuable conversations before we even get up? And then somebody else, and I'm not going to put words in your mouth, Yvette, but a woman might say, hey, take me on a date. Like, I need to see you in person. Why are we talking on the phone so much? Like, I understand we got to know each other, but now that you know I want to go on a date, let's meet up in person. I got to see how you smell, how you look, how your stature. So it's two different trains of thought. We're talking about trust. Do those two different trains of thought come from lack of trust? Hear me out before y'all respond. Tony, Estevan, if we say, hey, you know what? I need to talk to you, baby girl, like 3, 4, 5 times before we go on a date. Is that because we don't trust? Or if we say, hey, you know what, baby, we need to go on a date like quickly. I need to see you. I need to lay eyes on you. I need to see how you shaped. I need to see how you moving. Like, is that some function of lack of trust? Let's go with Tony first.
First off, you have to allow people to be who they are. And then you decide whether you want to deal with it. So I'm never going to tell the girl, oh, I got to see you. I got to do this. I got to, nah, you just be chill. Go with the flow. Like, hey, how you, but I will say that if you do show where you may not have time for me, then that's a concern for me. Not a concern where I'm going to say, you don't have time for me. It's evident. What's understood don't need to be said. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna move on. You feel me? And if I'm not double texting, I'm not good morning, and if I don't get nothing back. Oh, all right, bet I'm good. I'm not texting twice. So
You said you're not
I ain't
texting
twice.
twice.
So if you don't text me back, that tells me everything I need to know. You ain't got time for me. I'm not gonna take back and say, why you ain't text me back? Nah, I'm good. Cause best believe someone else said good morning, handsome. So
Is that lack of, hold on, is that lack, and I'm poking at this for a reason. Is that lack of trust? And I don't answer this, Tony. I want everybody else to answer. Tony say, I ain't texting back. I ain't texting twice. Like, I sent it.
That's right. Respect.
If you don't, is it lack of trust or is it lack of patience?
It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have.
It's not a lack of anything.
It doesn't. Like you said, it's not a lack of anything. But it's like this. Like, most people got their phones in their hands all the time. I don't care what you say. She's a nurse, and I'm telling you right now, she probably has her phone in her hand a good period of time. You know.
No, I don't. I'm in people's mouths, so my phone is on silent.
Well, we trying to get in their mouth too.
And in pockets. Right. I don't do that.
But I'm still saying. I'm still saying that most people have their phones at their disposal at all times. Their social media thing. So when somebody hits you with, okay, I didn't get your text, and it's 24 hours later, or it's 8 hours later, you know that's kind of bullshit. So if you can't get back to me in the same manner that I want you that I get back to you. I said, all right, I get it. What's not said is understood. I got it.
Yeah,
And that,
I got it.
well,
And that's what he took it as, and I do get that, and I'm like, and
Because
I know
nah,
I'm
your
different.
dude didn't take it like that. Your dude
not
took offense to it. Your
not to
dude tried
cut.
to check you on it.
Yeah.
Nah,
And to me, that was way too early. Because, like,
yeah.
I mean, when you talk about I'm texting, I just meet you and I'm calling you, texting you, whatever it is, before we go out on a date. This is all a filling out period. Even when we go on a date, this is all a filling out period. I can't fully trust you after a date. Like, that doesn't, like, what does that mean? Like,
oh,
even trust, I mean, be honest with you, after we had sex, I don't know if I fully trust you then.
well, I got one for you though, Ed. Check this out.
Huh?
My question is this: if you're meeting someone on a dating site, evidently you're in a position that you're ready to date. So by the time you click and you meet me, and we
I don't want
shoot
to
a
meet you
couple
on a
of
date. I don't want to meet you on a dating site.
well, no. What I'm saying is, I'm just keeping it.
I'm just messing with you, boy.
Hear me. I'm keeping it up for these people. This new age. They're meeting
Right.
on dating sites. Okay, you meet me, I meet you. I send you a message or two. You send me a message or two. Here's my number. Let's talk. If you say you're not comfortable with talking to a man on the phone that soon, you're not ready to date. Let's stop playing.
Oh no,
Now,
I mean,
hold on.
just like you said, like if we're talking and you talking about if me and a woman is talking and we're texting, going back and forth, hey babe, let's meet up, yada, and she's not ready to do that. Okay, we just wasted some time and energy. It's time to move on.
Yep.
Like I said, all this is a filling out period. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
sir.
Whatever.
Yes.
So you gonna let me know how interested you are in getting to know me.
Yep.
And I'm gonna let you know how interested I am in getting to know you. That's all
Right.
part of it. Now, if I'm sensing that you aren't showing me the same interest I'm showing you,
It's a
then
wrap.
I get it, and I'm gonna put you in this box over here. This box over here to the left, and that box over here to the left is a place a woman never really wants to be, because
Exactly.
now you become I just want to hit box. You just showed me how much interest. If it happens to happen, it happens.
And
I'm not
again,
even pursuing that.
yeah. And like you said, now that was the internet thing. If I meet you in person, we've had a small conversation before we exchange numbers. You already know what I look like.
Yes.
You're already put yourself in a position where you're making me think you're interested. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gave me your number.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I am going to call you.
Right.
Now, if you ain't answering your phone and you ain't returning texts, you're getting deleted.
Yeah.
Because you're not ready.
So let me jump in right here. This is a big thing in LA. When I first moved out here, I came from Chicago. I came from a marriage. And before Chicago and before marriage, I went to high school and college in Atlanta. I was used to, if a woman's interested, she will say so. If she's not interested, she will say so. I wasn't used to this. Oh yeah, you can call me. Yeah, give me a call. Here's my number. And then no response. I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, why'd you waste my time? Like you just said, why'd you waste my time? But I found out being out here, it's a lot of passive aggressive personalities out here, and a lot of people don't want to get into any sort of like in the Midwest, a chick will be like, hey, look, I ain't feeling you, keep it moving, or whatever, no, you can't have my number, get off me, right, or whatever. And it's like, all right, well, that went nowhere. But out here there was a lot of call me, we'll talk, we'll do lunch, oh absolutely, and it felt like some of it was, let me see what he about, and if he can help me step up in the industry, the entertainment industry, then I'll fuck with him. But some of it was also, let me just see if he got the kind of paper I want. If he don't have the kind of paper I want, he not who I think he is, then he don't even get a response. Whereas in the Midwest and in the South, I was used to at least getting a response. I wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're right, Al. If people aren't gonna respond, they ain't ready. So bring it full circle. Is that not responding from a man or a woman? Because we're gonna keep it fair here. is when a person doesn't respond. They give you the number, then they just all of a sudden ghost you and never say nothing. Is that a lack of trust on their part? Are they
No.
or they just aren't ready? They just out here playing games.
No, it's
Playing games,
options.
right?
It's options.
It's
You have-
options and it's games.
It's options.
You said options, S said games. Okay.
Little both. Both.
Both.
Yeah, it could be both. I don't know games. I hate that terminology game. Anytime throughout my dating life, somebody say you got game, I got very offended because one, I don't have time for games. I really don't. I've never have. I've never been a woman that that wanted. Because first of all, I don't want no one. I don't want to toy with your emotions because I'm gonna treat you the way I want to be treated. So I don't want to be treated where I'm a toy. I'm just a plaything. So I don't want to give you that same feeling. So if I'm talking to you, it's intentional. It's because I really want to get to know you, and the meet and greet for me, like I mentioned before, is to see if the energy is real there, if the chemistry is right there, because chemistry is everything in a relationship, and we don't talk about that much too. So that plays a part into the trust, because that chemistry can be there. Now I'm loosening up. I'm letting my guard down. I'm letting you in because that chemistry, that energy that I'm feeling from you, it feels good. It feels like you really have my best interest at heart. And that's not easy to come by because some people don't give you that feeling, men or female. So when you have that come into your scope, you can kind of relax a little and go from there.
Like here's something I thought about. Like you guys said, who do you trust more? Like, and to be honest with you, now that we sit here and we diving into this conversation, I gotta say that men are more are more trustworthy in that sense. Like yeah, we have some hidden motives. Sometimes when we meet a chick, or maybe not. We're actually more upfront with it than not than most than women. I would say. Now I'm sitting and thinking about it. Like you guys will go on a date just for a meal, not even interested in the guy.
I've seen that. I've seen
Where
that.
we don't. That's not even an option on our table.
Right.
But is that because of the way? Is that because of the way society is set up? Meaning,
I wouldn't say society. I would say. Oh, I don't know if that. I don't know if that's the thing.
Think about this. The system says, right? The system says, hey, the man asks for your number. The man pursues. The man asks you out, right? We don't sit back and wait on women to pursue us. So women ain't offering a meal. Women ain't offering, a good time. Hey, let's hang out. That's our job. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of are set up to have to ask, and they're set up to accept or deny.
Very true. But at the same time, you've had a woman come on to you or show you interest that you didn't want.
Facts.
And you turn that shit down right away.
Facts.
Right. Where a woman will give her number out to a dude that not really attracted to, but he's saying, I'm gonna take you out to dinner and I just want a meal.
Hey,
now, I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing in other parts of the United States, in Arizona, in Denver, in New York or in Chicago, or I know that's a thing in LA because it's people want to be seen going somewhere and they don't mind it being on somebody else's dime.
Yeah.
LA,
that's a Florida thing too.
It is. Well, that's a Florida thing too.
It is a Florida thing, and I said that.
Well, then that's everywhere. It happened everywhere. Then
it does happen everywhere, but I truly believe certain states do it a little bit more. Even like the whole dating scene is not the same in certain states because the mentalities are different in certain states. Like
exactly.
You go to Vegas. The Vegas is supposed to be what you do. Stay in Vegas. California, Florida is like spring break, and we're the old Freaknik. So we're the new Freaknik down here. Memorial Day Freaknik.
Well, Yvette, some of it too, Yvette. If you notice, it's the two coasts. It's Florida, California.
Yes.
If you also notice, it's two entertainment heavy states. You know, you got Walt Disney, you got Spring Break, you got all the beaches, you got Miami Beach, you got South Beach, then you got Hollywood, you know, Santa Monica, you know, Malibu, all that. So it is interesting that the two entertainment coasts and the sunny places with the water
Palm
seem to
trees.
influence the
Both
culture.
got palm trees.
Palm trees, both got palm trees. I did notice, and you know, we're going to bring it back to the topic, but I did notice that it seemed like reality TV. I don't want to blame the Kardashians because it started before them, but in some sense, reality TV did it. In some sense, music did it, because when stripper culture started getting promoted and everybody was like, I'm in love with a stripper and I'm tipping strippers and I'm throwing ones, right, and all the lights that go on in a strip club. That became like the new Hollywood for the hood. You didn't have to be now on the silver screen. You could be a star on the small screen, the video screen, a video vixen, you know, a stripper, a blah 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 blah. And then it turned into social media, and before that it turned into reality shows. Oh, I want to be a Kardashian. I want to be Paris Hilton. I want to be Nicole Richie. You know, I want to carry little dogs around like purses. Then it went to
Black
even
Ink,
now
the one
social
that
media.
Trina them do.
Yeah, like Trina and them. And so this image of I want to be sponsored and I want to be someone and I want someone to be giving me things, as that you talk about, we kind of perpetuated that with entertainment, and it just kind of like it ran rampant. But to bring us back to center, who's more trusting in relationships? We just talked about a few things. And Al, y'all both mentioned that a woman could go on a date just because she gets a free meal or because she's bored. She may not even like you. All right. And Tony, I did see. Right. And Tony, I saw you wanted to say something earlier, but I was moving around. Did you have a comment, Tony, before I show the clip?
No, you can show the clip.
All right. Okay. So, first clip is who trusts more in relationships? I think this clip will speak for itself, but why do some women do this? Why do some, I won't say all, but why do some women do this? They say more than half. So let's listen to see what they're talking about.
More than half of women who are married and categorize themselves as happily married. Wait a sec. They're married. Happily married women are doing this? Have a backup plan. And what is a backup plan? It means you have someone on the back burner.
So a specific person they've
identified. And in most cases, it was either an ex-boyfriend or an old friend who never made it to the dating category.
Get out of town.
Unfortunately, yes. And the problem is social media has just made it too easy to have such a type of behavior.
Right. So I know you're here to say, though,
yes,
watch out, because this is anything but good.
It is. I agree. More than half of women who are married and categorize themselves as happily married. Wait a sec. They're married.
Happily married women are doing this?
Have a backup plan. And what is a backup plan? It means you have someone on the back burner.
So a specific person they've identified.
And in most cases, it was either an ex-boyfriend or an old friend.
Why do some women keep a man as a backup plan? Why do some women keep a man as a backup plan? I'm saying some. They said 50%. So I put that stat up. Why do 50% of women keep a man in their back pocket? I've heard of women having one man to iron, having another man to cook, another man to have sex with, another man to fix their car, another man to pay the bills, and it's called a builder nigga. They gonna make a man. They gonna make a bionic man by taking pieces from all these men. Excuse my language, but the wine is kicking in. Why do some women have a backup man? Yvette, since you're the first lady, you're the lady on the panel. Why do some women keep a backup man? Keep a man in their back pocket.
Okay. I mean, this is not something that I subscribe to, but I'm going to try to give it a gander, because I don't even hang out with women that think that do that I know of. I don't mess around. I call that, slimy. But I've heard some do it because if they're current man has been lying to him or has cheated or made a mistake, they want to have, again, a backup, someone to fall back on if it all goes south and, they never get it back going the way it's supposed to go, the relationship. That's one reason. And the other, some are just waiting for it to fail because they believe that they don't truly believe they can make it. They rather believe they're going to fail before they believe they're going to make it. So it's
now
like,
we
come
going
on,
back.
let's be more positive instead of negative. But we are in a negative society now that we think the worst before we think the best.
But that's my point, right? Believing it's going to fail before you even give it a chance is a lack of trust. Now, I'm not saying it ain't justified. I'm not saying it ain't justified because they could have been through things. They could have, I'm not saying it's not justified.
That's not justification.
What is it, Al?
That's that is holding on to your past. That's not just and it's looked at as justification for just that. You want to it's wrong, but you're going to use that as justification. But you're not ready. I mean, I think social media, one, and friends are stopping people from moving forward. Come on, let's just keep it 100. You're not ready.
Well, that kind of goes to a whole nother scenario. Like be honest with you.
Hold up, S. Tony was just about to jump in, and he's been quiet. Tony, what were you about to say?
Okay, go ahead.
Coming back to you, S. Go ahead. Tony.
2 points. 2 points I want to make, and nothing against Yvette, but I want to point out the fact that whenever we find a fault in a woman for doing something, the first thing we do is say, because the man did this. Maybe he's lying, maybe because he's cheating, maybe. And nothing against you, Yvette, but that's what we tend to do in society. Whenever a man messes up, he ain't ish. Whenever a woman messes up, it's because the man ain't ish. That's the first point I want to make. Number two, what we're forgetting is it's in a woman's nature to want to be provided for and to find the man that can provide the best resources. So whenever a woman feels that her resources are in jeopardy, what she's doing is she's gathering backup resources because a woman needs to feel safe. She needs to feel provided for. So whenever she feels like that first set of resources is at risk, she says, well, let me have this backup just in case. Now, is it right? No, it's not, but it's because she feels that there's a lack of something. And there's not even maybe a reality of a lack of something. It's just
And
in
she
her
might have
mind.
felt that from a prior situation, right? So Tony trying to be the right man for her, but she don't trust Tony because of what Dave did. Right? She's like, last time I was with somebody, he did this, that, and the third. And you're like, but I'm not him. I'm just trying to be a good man, but she not.
We shouldn't be together.
No, I got you. But what I'm saying is that's a lack of trust on her part based on what she's been through. Based on her experience, she's applied what the last man did to what the new man might do.
Both parties do that, but I wanted to respond to this here. Being a female and a single one too, and there's a reason why. Okay? All right. I am a very level-headed person. I am a very understanding person. I don't make snap judgments, nor do I ever hold what the last man did to the new man. I've never been that person. Every relationship, I would give myself some time alone with no one, not jumping back into a rebound relationship that I hear of. I don't even know what that is. My thing is everyone should take some time before they break up. Now, that's just me. Now, I've dated men that, again, kind of what this young lady, like we were talking about, Reese, they come to the table saying they're going to do this and they're going to do that, and they don't. And then they get mad when they say a woman don't allow a man to be the man. If I already have my own home, because I got started early, if I already have the home and I already have my own car and all these things are paid for, and you're coming to the table, my thing is we either get something new, rent this, make more money from it or whatever, or you're supposed to be able to come in and take over. That hasn't been the case with a lot of people that I meet here. So that's why, and everyone has to be realistic. See, people don't think realistically. Not everyone is a CEO. That's another thing the internet has done. Made everyone think that everybody's a baller or a CEO and making six figure. Every person, me and you talked about that before, Tony. So that's a trust issue too. Because men are coming trying to provide or say they can do this. But and the sad part is, even the ones that say they can't do this, this is all I make. We know you going to work every day too, boo. Because you ain't sitting home doing nothing. So you have to look at the fact that you might have to date the accountant. You might have to date the front desk person or the security guy. We all are not dating the CEO because there's only one CEO for one company. So we need to come to that realization too. And that's another thing. We need to trust the person that you choose or that choose you, and y'all come together and stop expecting more. See, that's the problem. We're over expecting more than what's even being capable. He might be
unrealistic.
Just unrealistic. You don't even have that. My thing is, okay, so you want this man to have all this. What else do you bring besides Nana?
Yeah. And I'm gonna let Esteban go real quick, but I'm gonna say this. I'm a baller. To every girl I date, I'm a baller because every girl I date gonna be on Section 8. She needs me. You see what I'm saying? I can't date nobody that make no real money. I'm baller. When I come pick you up in this Malibu, oh my God, he got a car. Get in, bitch. And appreciate this, okay? Go ahead.
Is she gonna be big back too? She got to be big back too.
She needs me.
Hey Tony, next time you go out to Nobu, let me know. I want to see who you with.
Yeah, I don't need no successful girl. Get the hell out of here. You making all this money. I need a brother.
Basically, she works at Popeye, so she can't have no aspirations.
I need a brother Razorback that's pretty.
Like she can't work at no steakhouse. She got to work at the bare minimum.
She got to be at the Popeyes drive-through.
Hey,
flower on the shirt.
Old school sizzler.
There's a real double standard to that. I mean, if a man is hanging on to a couple of chicks that he used to mess with in the past, he's a player. He's this. He's that. You know. He's wrong. He's a dog. He's, but if a woman is hanging on to those same type of scenarios, she's just looking out for herself and making sure that she's protected and she's searching. Like that's a real double standard right there. Like, and and I understand double standards and they fit where they're in place because they're in place. Like a woman can't do things that a man can. And vice versa.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There's a couple people at the shop with me talking, we have conversations, and they feel like they can do it. They didn't brought into Steve Harvey's think like a man, act like women think like a man. So they got all these different dudes that they messing with. But what you don't understand is like a man that looks at you and knows that you messing with 4 or 5 chicks, 4 or 5 dudes. You's a hoe. Now, don't get us wrong. A man may want to hit that, but that's all he wants. It's no relationship based. You walk into Friday. Let's call it Fridays. You walk into Fridays and you see a chick and 5 dudes, 6 dudes, 10 dudes in there and smash her. You might be the 11th, but that's all it is. Yeah. Vice versa. If a dude walks in, he didn't smash 5, 10 chicks up in there. A chick is gonna be sitting there like. Oh, well, what makes them want him? Let me go see.
Yeah.
So there's a double standard. There's a double standard,
but you gotta understand the whole king and queen, thing. Like when you talk about a woman and your woman, when you decide to have a woman, you're putting her on a pedestal, so to speak, and that is your trophy wife, girl, whatever you want to call it, and nobody touches your trophy. So if you walk into I don't want to walk into a spot and 2 dudes is giggling like they hit my chick.
Yeah. Right.
You
There's
know,
a
I'm not
there's a
me
philosophy
personally.
to what you're saying,
Yeah,
and Patrice
yeah,
O'Neal said it best.
yeah. I'm
He's
not good with that.
All right, come on back, Tony. He froze a little bit. I agree with you, S. I do agree 100%. And it has to do with when your Wi-Fi comes back, Tony. Let me know. Wave at me in the green room. You frozen. It's a philosophy that goes with that. And I'll let him talk about Patrice O'Neal's philosophy. But I was going to come with something slightly different. A man gets rewarded for being sexually virile, for being, sowing his wild oats and, being
Mm-hmm.
able to spread his seed amongst many fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get rewarded for that. I've had women on the show say, well, I don't want my man to be a virgin. I want my man to have some experience. He got to teach me something. He
Yep.
needs to know
Mm-hmm.
something. Right. I've seen that. Oh, we lost Yvette too. Okay. All right. Hopefully they'll come back. I hope it's not something going
But you
on with
got
the.
you got to understand that thought pattern. You know that whole thought pattern, Dave, is like this. Like who's it easier for to have sex? Is it easy for the man to have sex with a woman, or is it easier for the woman to have sex with a man?
Right.
Easier for a woman to have sex with a man.
Exactly.
Right. So something that can come easy is not respected.
Mm-hmm.
And the
So
man that
if he
has all the women he's not easy to get because he's preoccupied. But a
no no no
woman
no no
looks
no
at him and
no
says, "Okay, I got to get this."
no, but a man that has
There
conquered
you go, Tony. You there?
so
Okay.
yes.
a man that has conquered X amount of women, he's respected because he's had to go conquer that.
Exactly, and it's not easy.
There you go, Yvette.
And it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Women she can walk outside and say, you know what, let me I'm gonna sleep with dude right there. She can go do that.
Yeah,
And
they
and
have what we
nine
want.
out of 10 is gonna happen. 9 times out of 10
They
is
have
gonna
what we
happen.
want.
Where we walk into the spot and we see the fine chick in there. Yeah, I got it. Okay, I got it. Ooh, and I might have to lie now.
Yep.
You got to work for it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got roll up my sleeve. Let me go to the bathroom, get my eyebrows together. Let me figure my life out. Let me go tell her something.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
competing with all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
And that's another
some
good point you
people.
made up, Al.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Go ahead,
more
Yvette.
men that people keep forgetting. You'll have no idea. There are way more women on the earth than there are men,
That's
and
a
Mm-hmm.
fact.
especially in our community. So that's another thing that we're competing against too. So that's why the men can do what they do to us, and we receive, because when the good one comes along, we're like, oh, I gotta hold on to this one. So it's by may the best person win. Because I mean, I'm dealing with it down here. If I have another gay guy tell me about their sexual encounters at work, I'm gonna just lose my mind. They're getting more action than I'm getting, and it's making me angry. They go out and they come. So we got the gays taking up the men. Then you got the other half of them in jail, and then the other half already got somebody, and then the other half got a couple of somebodies. How is a good woman supposed to compete?
You gotta show
Well,
them thighs at work.
let me answer. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
I was saying she had to show them thighs at work to get them men. But
Yeah,
to
the thighs had me heated earlier. The
listen,
thighs had me heated earlier. I was searching for flights.
them motherfuckers look soft. Them motherfuckers look soft too, but they
And
soft. But anyway,
I caught the tail end of the thigh. Shit, I missed the whole thigh.
what we were talking about with men and women, the amount of people that they sleep with, I think of an analogy that a key that opens many locks is valuable, but a lock that's opened by many keys is worthless.
Mm,
Meaning, it's easy for a woman to get a man. Women sleep with who they want. Men sleep with who they
They
can.
can.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why
mm,
there's a societal difference between when a man sleeps with a lot of women versus when a woman sleeps with a lot of men, because it's easy for her to do that. So it speaks to the discernment of her body and who she gives
mm,
access to it. That's why men look at it like, oh, if she slept with all these dudes, like, oh, nah, well, that ain't really what I'm looking for. But when a dude has to add value to sleep with a woman. He has to be handsome. He has to be funny. He has to make money. He has to do something for all these women to say, you know what? I think I want to give him some pussy.
But guess what, though? I also been told a woman who has values or morals tend to be single longer. And as you get up there in the age, you're not even being searched for. Like I said, I'm up there in a certain age. I feel that I'm an attractive woman. However, the ones that are coming are the ones that's showing all their private parts. And I definitely don't want you because you already showed me how you feel about me. I'm just a piece of meat. You're not even trying to get to know what's in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is sexy as heck to me. So a brother with a brain is intellect is gorgeous.
Right.
So because a penis, I can get that. I can go and say, you want some of this? And they'll be
Easy.
like, yeah. And I'll be like,
Easy.
okay, let's do it. I don't want that. That's not what I'm looking for. And most women who value themselves are not looking for that as well. So
You know, there's something
Well,
else too that I want to piggyback off of what Tony said. There's something else too that people don't like to talk about in terms of a lock a lock that's open by any key. All right. The key would
By
be the
many
man.
keys. Yeah.
Right. The key would be the man, a phallus.
Mhm.
The lock would be the woman, a vagina. All right.
mhm.
It's something about many things going into a lock, many keys. Let's keep that analogy. There's something about many keys going into a lock. And if any key, just any old key can get in that lock and get that lock to unlock, and that's like unlocking a treasure box. That's like unlocking something special. And you really don't want any key doing that. So you really want a lady. And we're going back to when women are out here acting like players and they're acting like men and they moving like men, right? When women are moving like men, real men don't really find that attractive. We'd be like, okay, I see you. You're a player. Some people might say you a hoe. Whatever it is, I don't like it because I want a woman that's not moving like me. I want a woman that's not moving.
There's too many people that got. There's too many people with access to you.
That can act. Your lock is easily open, and I don't like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll smash. I'll go and put my key in there, smash, have a good time. Right?
I got to
but
wrap
I
it
ain't
though.
wifing. Yeah, but I gotta wrap it. I gotta strap it up. But I'm not wifing. I'm definitely not wifing.
No.
Put a case on that.
But a lot of women don't get that. A lot of women don't even understand that. The older ones, they're just like, I'm to this age. What am I holding on to it for? I might as well just go ahead and have the fun. But the younger ones, they don't realize that when they're younger. They're thinking they're owning their bodies. That's what they think. And they're like, I'm taking my power. This is my power, and I can have anybody I want to. But that only lasts for so long, but
you can't.
Yeah. And that goes back to the whole stripper culture and, social media culture and Hollywood socialite culture, right? Everybody want to be famous. Everybody want to be balling. Everybody want to have a BBL. Y'all remember in the 80s, big butts and thick lips and thick thighs was not it. In the 80s, they was all talking about white women and Maybelline. But then in the late 80s, early 90s, it began to switch, right? Now it's, look at her. Yvette, do that. Wait, do that one more time, Yvette. What was they look? They would tell the models. Right. The white models was doing that. The white models was having duck lips trying to look. But now they got surgery. Right. Now everybody want a BBL. Everybody.
Now they're doing this with your cheeks.
Look at your friend.
Here's what's even funnier about that.
I saw that, Tony. I saw that.
The funny thing about that is that they're doing it in competition with each other. We don't like that. As men, most men don't like that. We want all natural.
I got somebody new coming to the stage.
Hey, look, I got to head out, man. It's my time. I got to go.
Is it your time? All right, hold on.
Yes,
hey, Tony, thank you, man. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you, Tony. You know what? And wait, before you leave, Tone, do me a favor and just give me your final synopsis or your final word on total trust, men versus women. We were really asking who trusts more or who is trusted more, men or women. Man, who's more trusting and who should be?
I'll leave you all with this. Love yourself, trust your discernment of character, Take your time, get to know people, and don't be with someone you don't trust.
Cool. All right, Tony. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. My man, comedian Tony Love, man. I appreciate you. We'll see you next week, Tony. Thank you, bro. Hey, hold on. We're here, y'all. We're here. We're gonna take just like a 17-second break so we can kind of enjoy and relax for a moment. You can kind of stretch. All right, you guys. So go ahead and stretch. Give me about a 30-second break. All right, that's what we're gonna do, man. I appreciate everybody. Stay with us. It's Dave Life After Dark. Yo. We're back. It's Dave Life. And you're watching Dave Life After Dark, episode number 245. Dave Life After Dark, episode number 245, man. Total trust, men versus women. Total trust, men versus women. Again, man, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're with us tonight, so I want to say thank you. I got some new people I'm going to bring to the stage, and the guest panelists that have been here the whole time. So for my new person that's in the green room, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know when you're ready, and I will bring you up. I appreciate everybody. Man, we are discussing total trust, men versus women. Who actually is trusted more, men or women? Who is more trusting, men or women, in relationships? We found that there are double standards. We found that there are various reasons that men and women trust differently. So let's look at this next clip. Actually, you know what? This isn't even a clip. I just want to share this. I don't know if you guys heard about Nature Boy. I don't know if you guys heard about Nature Boy. So Nature Boy is he is a cult leader that has been found guilty of rape and I believe kidnapping. All right. It says he's a former model, stripper, prostitute, and barber, but he's mostly acclaimed as the self-professed cult leader of Carbon Nation. His name is Nature Boy, aka Eligio Bishop. He's finally been sentenced to life without parole, plus 10 years after allegedly or purportedly raping a former member of the alleged cult and releasing revenge porn online after she left him. This seems to be the final blow that began the fall of Carbon Nation and ultimately Nature Boy. All right, he founded Carbon Nation, formerly known as Melanation, around 2016 in Atlanta. He believed the most effective way to combat American injustice and capitalism and white supremacy was the idea of going off the grid and going back to nature. Thus, Nature Boy was born. The ambitious cult leader grew his popularity all over the nation by using YouTube and vlogging to gain his so-called disciples. Preaching he was the returning Messiah. These young men and women would fund his travels through expenditures through PPP loans, refund checks, and life savings. Soon, they would all leave Babylon, a place where you can use debit cards, and they followed him to Honduras in 2016. And eventually, he bounced from Honduras to Panama to Canada, Costa Rica, and even Hawaii. And the lifestyle wasn't necessarily conducive to everyone. There's reports that he contracted HIV/AIDS and herpes. One of the members died because she was not allowed to take her heart medication because they were going back to nature. So it was a lot. And he was doing crazy things like allowing his kids to see him naked, allowing his kids to see him have sex with his many wives. He took a man's wife that was in the cult from him. Nature Boy is crazy. All right, now why am I bringing up Nature Boy? Because the whole question is, who trusts more in relationships? men and women. That's what we own. All right, let's bring everybody else back up to the stage. So come on back to the stage, Miss Yvette. Come on, Yvette. Come on, Al. Come on, S. All right, and then I think I have Dope Female Trainer. All right, are you there? Are you there for me, Shaq? You there? What's up, Shaq? There she go. Is she in there? There you go. What's up, Shaq? Can you hear me?
I don't think so.
All right. Al, you there?
I'm here.
All right, Al is there. All right. Esco, you there?
Yes, sir.
Shaq, we can't hear you. No? Okay, you muted yourself, Shaq. Come off mute whenever you're ready, because I can hear you. Okay. Can't hear you. All right. Come off mute whenever you're ready. All right, cool. Don't worry. She'll unmute it. All right, cool. All right, so Nature Boy. Question is, who's more trusting in relationships, men or women? This man was crazy, y'all.
Yeah, that just sounds like oh fuck me.
Look, he just got life plus 10 years. Okay. He did have many wives. Men and women in the cult followed him. He started in 2016 in Atlanta. That's just 8 years ago. And in his travels, they've contracted diseases. He's gotten people pregnant. He took people against their will. And then when the one lady that was, now here's the situation, the one lady that was originally his main wife, she got upset because she was like, look, if I'm your main, I need to stop being polygamous. And he didn't stop being polygamous. So, he's the one that she is the one that he allegedly raped. He was found guilty of that. After that occurred, she left. She took the baby and she began to report things. And he's found guilty of a lot of stuff. Why would men and women, it wasn't just women, why would men and women follow this man into the Honduras and as though he's the new Messiah? Why would certain people be so trusting in a man that called himself Nature Boy?
Jim Jones all over again.
People want to believe in something, man. They want to they like black people. I mean, we are I want to say it's just in our soul to want to believe in a higher being. And sometimes within that, it seems like we get lost in who we believe in. Like you got a lot of people that believe in these pastors, like these pastors are God themselves. They want to believe in that individual so bad. They want to be attached to that. And unfortunately, some people follow the wrong person. And you shouldn't follow man from the start. Like that's where it all goes wrong. Like you shouldn't be following man. But some people get caught up in it. And those are the, I hate to, for lack of better words, the weak-minded people. Because if you can sit there and just put a man on a pedestal in that manner, you're gonna fall for some shit that you may not, you're gonna compromise yourself. You're going to. Because he's a man himself.
Mm-hmm.
But these are people who feel like they were ordained. I mean, like right now, with the presidential stuff that's going on right now, Trump is being said to be the new Messiah because of the fact that, in the Bible there was a lot of men that God favored that was not part of Christianity at all. They either killed or slain. They were horrible people, but somehow, some way, they were forgiven and and became part of God's trusted disciples and so forth, so on. So I don't know the Bible that well, so I'm not going to pretend, because I, anyway. But I know.
I see where you're going with it. People have been used,
people
like
saying
Rahab. Rahab was a prostitute. She was used, and she ended up being counted among God's people.
Well, Trump just tapped into it. He just tapped into a community that had been dormant for so long. And when we have us black people think we have, that we the only people that migrated out west from the South. No, white folks, racist white folks migrated out here as well. And they stay in other little pockets of the West. And now they have somebody that they see they can jump behind that they believe in, and they believe they can show their teeth again. Mm-hmm. So now so he comes out and he's running for president, and he says these things that resonates with them. Oh man, let me dust this flag off. God, dog it.
So is it black people that want someone to follow, or is it human beings? Is it a human thing to want someone to follow? It's a human thing.
It's human.
Because
you know what?
On Good Morning America, there was a Christian. He was a Baptist church. He was the son of the preacher, the pastor, and his father had passed, and he was given the church, and so he just wrote this book. And in this book, he's speaking on what's happening now with the presidential and how the evangelical Christians and everything. So they placed all their trust in him because they were the ones who they denounced him for writing a book, because in the book he's telling us exactly what's going on. But the people don't want to believe that, because they really believe that he was sent by God to make changes here in the West.
You want me to tell you something? Somebody gave me some really good information that I never thought of. Here in this Western civilization that we live in, you know what one of the major problems is? People don't want to think for themselves. They want other people to think and make decisions for them.
That's part of it. That's part of it, but also
is that Western civilization? Is that I'm sorry, Yvette.
That's here in the Western civilization that we live in. A large majority of our society don't want to think. Nobody wants to do anything for themselves anymore. Nobody wants to work for anything. Okay. They want somebody to do things for them, tell them what to do, how to do it, and when to do it.
Part of that is by design, though. If we dumb down our schooling, because I remember you had to have so many credits. So if we dumb down the school and what's being taught in the school, and then we're just teaching you to just take a test and no longer what you need to go out into the real world, there is no longer a critical thinker. So if you're not a critical thinker, you cannot think for yourself. I'm going to tell you what's best for you. You don't tell me, because I'm going to tell you. Okay, you don't need to think. Don't worry your little head about it. I'm going to tell you.
Let me push back a little. I think maybe you said this, but maybe I heard it different. So let me try to say what I'm trying to say. I'll push back a little, because I think in the Western world, we're lazy, right? We're lazy. We want automation. We want AI. We're lazy. We don't want to do for ourselves. But we swear up and down in the Western world that we are free thinkers. We swear up and down. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm the captain of my own ship. I'm gonna do it my way. That's what we swear up and down. But I would say in the Eastern world, people are more apt to follow a religious doctrine, a religious group, and be more religious than we are in the West. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in other words, like people are more likely to be a sheep in the East, and in the West, we're more likely to be an independent thinker, someone that's going to do a rebel or a goat. You follow what I'm tracking?
I feel what you're saying. We're saying similar things.
Okay.
Because like you said, now you brought up AI. What is AI? AI is laziness. You don't want to think and do anything for yourself. You want somebody else to do it for you. So in that manner, you and I are saying the same thing.
Yes.
So now the free spirit, the free thinker.
Yeah.
That's just that's a monologue. That's just the title. That's just something for people to gravitate on.
Is it nonconformity? Is it nonconformity?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna ask a controversial question. because the whole topic tonight. Welcome to the stage, Shaq. Don't female trainers in the building. Welcome to the stage, Shaq. The conversation tonight, just to reset the room right quick, Al. The conversation tonight is, it ain't nature, boy. The conversation tonight is total trust. Total trust two, men versus women. Now, we did bring up Nature Boy because it brings up the idea of trust in terms of human beings following other human beings and being pulled into cults, being pulled into false religions, being pulled into movements, right? And some of these movements aren't good, right? Civil rights was a good movement to get behind. Nature Boy is some BS. That ain't... Jim Jones. Now I'm not talking about the rapper. For people that don't know, it's a damn shame that we gotta specify. I'm not talking about the entertainer, the rapper Jim Jones. I'm talking about the cult leader Jim Jones that had people drink Kool-Aid and they all got poisoned and died.
Exactly.
Human beings follow other human beings, even if it's bad. And since the topic here is trust. Right, we didn't get past who's more trusting, men or women. We didn't got into why do humans, go left. Why do we? Because Al, I think that it's okay to be a trusting person. I think that it's okay to be a trusting person with boundaries and limits. If I'm gonna have hope, that there's a good woman out there, right? And I don't want to be cynical. That's kind of what I mean, being trusting, because that means that okay, I meet Yvette, and I'm cynical. Man, F women, especially Pisces. F all y'all. I'm not even giving her a chance. But if I'm open and I say, I had a bad experience with a Pisces, but you know what? Not all Pisces are bad, and Yvette may be different. That's what I mean. The difference between a cynic and someone hopeful. I don't think there's nothing wrong with being hopeful. I just think you can't be hopeful and foolish. You got to have some wisdom.
Yes, you could trust her. That don't mean you have to follow her.
You preaching? Where the hell is my preaching tonight, boy? You dropped the bomb on that one, man. Gosh. Say that again, Al. Please say that again for the people in the back.
You can trust her, but that does not mean you have to follow her. So when we're saying, who's more trusting, men or women, we're talking trust. You don't follow. You could trust what they say. You could trust what they bring to the table. You could trust the information that they give you that fits into the circumference of you and your life, but you don't have to follow their every word.
All right. Before we even respond, what you're saying is, and I'm taking this as a leadership thing, as a man, I could trust my girlfriend, I could trust my fiance, I could trust my wife, but that don't mean I got to follow every word. I still have to be ready to lead, make decisions, and take responsibility and accountability. Remember, we said earlier, sometimes women, not all, but sometimes women will be like, well, because the man said this, I did that. I'll give you an example. When I was married the first time, right? Whenever we got into a bad discussion or argument, she'd be like, well, I only acted out because you did this. I used to be like, yo, when are you accountable? I got to be accountable for my actions. David can't, go upside your head. David can't, slap the dog and kick the cat and push the preacher. David has to be responsible. I don't care what happens in his life. He got to be a good Christian. But yet the wife can act a fool, cuss me out, get in my face, just do all kind of stuff. And then when I say, why do you get to act out? It's because you made me. You said this, and therefore, if you hadn't done this, I wouldn't. And I used to be like, yo, you ain't got no accountability. You got to be responsible for your actions. If I have to be responsible for my actions, you got to be responsible for yours. I see you, Yvette. I'm just making a point. I'm just making a point that there are some women out there that blame the man. And I think that as a man, We don't get that luxury, Al. We can't just say, well, I was following my wife and I punched the hell out that man and I shouldn't go to jail because I punched him. I was just following my wife's orders. Like Will Smith. I slapped Chris Rock and I'm blaming Jada. You can't blame Jada.
In the dynamic of the relationship, we are
Al first. Al first.
In the dynamic of the relationship, we are the providers. We are the protectors. We don't follow. We are the leaders. We are the head of household of our environment. They follow our lead. You as a man, if she puts you in that position, you have to be smart enough to make a decision based upon you and yours, to not go left.
Right.
And she has to follow your decision.
And that whole, you said smack, go up there and do that, smack, like Will did. Yeah. Like, be honest with you, I have to trust that you care enough about me not to put me in that position. Because if you know how I may respond, why would you put me in a position to respond in that manner?
I agree.
Like women go outside and they dress a certain way, and then when somebody responds to her and how she's dressed, and she's dressed in a little, she's exposing herself, and people sitting there like, oh, ooh, look at her ass, out of this, out of that. Okay, and then some dude may try to touch her in some way. Me as her man, like, why would you put me in this situation wearing that? You got on this little ass skirt, but she's supposed to be my girl.
Right.
You out here revealing yourself, but she's supposed to be my girl. And now you got these dudes looking at you a certain way, hollering yada this and yada that, and puts me in a situation where I may feel like I got to say something. So now if I say something, it can turn a whole different way.
Because you never know with men. It could go way left. You never know with men.
And what real quick, the one thing that I tell people, I tell men that are in relationships to put out to their women. We put our lives on the line every day we walk out the door with you. Every single day I walk out my front door with you. My life is on the line because I never know what man is going to see you and go out his way to get your attention, whether I'm with you or not.
Well, let me say something about that, because when like if you're accustomed, if you have a very attractive woman, other men are they're just attracted to as you were.
Exactly.
And you have to understand that. Now the key is this: who she here with, who she with. Okay, she's down with me. So a man can say and do, as long as he doesn't get in the area of disrespectful. Now, if she is egging that disrespectful thing to come on, I question her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I'm giving you a scenario. I remember one time I was at the shop and my ex-wife walked in, and she had on these tight jeans, and like I said, wasn't nothing revealing, and she had a hell of a walk. I ain't gonna lie. So she walked in and came and said something to me. And one of my clients, he was a new client. He didn't know who she was. He just saw the woman walk in, and he's looking at her. I understand it. I'm looking at her, even in this presence. And she turned and walked away. And, I'm looking at her ass, and he turned and looked at her ass. And then he turned looking at me. He turned back, looked at me, and said, "Man, I'm sorry." I said, "Bro, I ain't even mad at you. I understand. I was looking too."
Right.
I understand that, but you got some men that will feel that they've been disrespected by that. You can't be disrespected by that. Now, if she's walking out and she's in something that's revealing, that's drawing attention to her, and then she responds to the attention that's coming with it. Now you just put me in a situation.
Right.
Yeah.
How much do you care about me?
Let's because Shaq just got here. Let's go to Dope Female Trainer. I did see you, Yvette. I know. But let's give
Yeah,
Shaq a
because I'm
moment. She
trying to
just
get
got
ready
here.
to leave. I wanted to do a last thought. It's 12:30. I
Go
gotta.
ahead, baby.
Oh,
Go
well,
ahead.
hold on. Well, okay. Well, then, Shaq, give us a moment. Go ahead, Yvette. Go ahead, Yvette. Yvette,
Okay.
then put me in my place. Give us our last thoughts, Yvette.
All she had to do was stand up and show them thighs. And
Let's move on.
My bad. Go ahead, Yvette. I know it's late. I know you got to go. Go
Okay.
ahead and give us
And
your
hello,
last
Dope
thoughts.
Trainer. I wanted to talk, but he takes so anyway. I just wanted to respond to a few things real quick. Real quick. As far as a woman on her place, a woman not allowing her man to go and fight battles for her in a way, she should not put herself in that position. And I had a gentleman explain it to me this way. I like to, come home and express, oh, this guy tried to talk to me, this guy tried to talk to me. And as my gentleman who used to do clients in women hair salon, who also was attractive, he said to me, older guy, he says, do you know, I know you're a good looking woman. So that's why I'm with you. And I know other men through your journey of the day without me by you is going to try to holler. But you don't need to come home and tell me every day. So how do you think that makes me feel if you come home and tell? I never thought about that. I thought I was just sharing my day. But to him, he was like, how do you think that makes me feel? He said, how would you feel if every day when I go into these hair salons, women in there trying to holler at me, throwing themselves at me. How would you feel if I was to tell you some of the things that these women say to me and half of them trying to slip me a number? That would make you feel a little insecure, wouldn't it? It would make you question what I'm doing. But see, because of the way I think, I don't think like that. I think you're going to do what you're going to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? So if you act on it and I find out or whatever, then that's when it becomes a problem. But I did understand what he was saying. So that means that I don't have to tell him everybody that said hello, hi, you got the fat, da 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 da. But then there was a clip that I seen one time where sometimes this is where trust come in. Sometimes you have to trust that your woman love and respect you enough that she gonna handle it before it gets to you having to come to you. See, if it gets out of hand where she has to come to you, that's one thing. But trust, she's got a mind because she has a mind and she does not want to bring stress to your doorstep. She's gonna handle some things before it gets there. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, just trust in that, because there was a gentleman where his girl was at a mall and she was walking ahead of him and his boy. Some guy just walked out of the store and tried to talk to her. And then his guy was like, yo, you checking this out? You seeing what I'm seeing? He goes, give her a moment. Because he thought that she was giving him a play. He said, just give her a moment. He stepped back and watched his woman, handle that man. Was like, I got a man. I don't need, like just dismissed him. And he went on his merry way. Where the other guy would have had him go approach this man and get into a fight. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes things don't have to escalate to a
Mm-hmm.
battle or words or a fight, because trust that she will handle that sometimes. But that's when you know your woman. That's when you know the type of woman you have. Because some
Indeed.
woman will make you go out there and fight just to see if
And
you're going to defend her honor and have you
I've
locked up, shot, or killed.
I've seen that BS before. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And on that note, Dope Train, I have to go. Good night. This is real. I had a good time. But,
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Yvette, hey, I
Thanks for
appreciate you,
your
Yvette.
presence.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining, Yvette. I'm sorry I didn't see you trying to get my attention. I would never intentionally keep you. All right.
it's
I
okay.
appreciate
You know I
you,
love
to
you
me.
guys. And ladies and gents. Good night.
All right. See you later, Yvette. That is Video Lady Yvette. Thank you for joining, Yvette. Thank you for joining. And on that tip, we have Dope Female Trainer in the building. What's up, Shaq?
I have to forgive my lighting is kind of off right now.
It's all
With
right.
regards to the conversation, I'm a very big believer in responsibility and taking accountability. When I was married, my husband knew that I was going to do what I want to do regardless. If I was going to do it, I was going to do it. If I wasn't, I wasn't. One thing he could always rest assured was I can handle my own. We would go on cruises. We would go a lot of different places. And he knows a free spirit. I love to just talk and mingle. One thing he always knew was name. That means I can't handle myself. It means because he already knows. If she has to call my name, she's done everything she need to do, and she can because she can handle her own. He will be somewhere just watching. He trusted me to that point. She ain't gonna do nothing because she's afraid. I was like this before he met me, and that was a part of my profession. Um, I ain't no trampy chick. I got a nice body, and I wear what I want to wear when I want to wear. It's about how I handle myself, and people pretty much know my energy would dictate if you can walk up to me. You ain't gonna just walk up to me. It's an energy, but I'm very friendly. I don't get out of the way. I don't disrespect man, but you will know whether you can walk up to me or not. There was this one gentleman, he said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, "I'm good." He said, "You look nice." I said, "Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate it." He said, "You here with somebody?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Well, what does that have to do with me?" I said, "Well, why did you ask?" He said,
Right.
I just want to take you. I said, "No." I said, "I'm married." He said, "Well, where's he at?" I said, "Don't worry about where he at. He can see me, understand
Right.
this." He said, "Can I buy you a drink?" I said, "You're very disrespectful." I said, "You asked me a question. I gave you the answer." I said, "But you still don't want to hear what you want to hear." I said, let me just give you this right now. Just because you don't see him don't mean he ain't watching you. I understand that." I said, "Please walk off and you have a great day." He said, He said, "I apologize for that." And it was that. And soon I said, Robert was coming out. He said, "Well, he already knows that if I call him, ain't no asking questions because I've already vetted everything." When it
Yeah.
comes to a woman, if she respects him, she's gonna reflect him, and she's gonna know how to dress in his presence. Because why? She respects his stance. If she respects him, she's gonna reflect him. But there's no end all be all. There's no 100% cut off or key lock or whatever. It's not gonna always be a means to an end. Things are gonna happen, but it's totally up to the situation. I know my place because I respect my mate. You'll never see the moon try to take the place of the sun. And one thing is for damn sure. Just because she's yours don't mean she's off the market. She is still an attractive woman. People still gonna holler. People still gonna look. And again, you can't control the next person, but you can damn sure control yourself. And if you trust it, trust it. If you don't, then you don't. It's not an end all be all situation, but I can say I'm gonna go what I want to go what I want to. But sometimes you just have to use your better judgment and just say, not today. Cover up. Why? Because everybody don't need to see what belongs to him. What belongs to you.
You remember when Kiki wore that outfit to the Usher concert, and everybody got upset with her, and the audience was really split because half of the audience said she has a right, the other half said, but it's disrespectful to your man and your mother, and what are you doing? So it was both sides, and I think I agree with you, Shaq. It's two things. Number one, like you said, I'm gonna put your quote up there. If she respects him, she'll reflect him. That's a great quote. That's a great quote.
And Shaq, let me say this because I had like years ago. I had a situation with a girl. We went out somewhere, and I remember it was a jet ski party, and I'm on the jet ski, and I come back, and the girl I brought out there, all these different dudes was hollering at her.
It happens so.
Wi-Fi. That was a Wi-Fi thing. His power might have might be his power. All right, you have to come back.
For me, being a personal trainer, I wear certain things in the gym. I even train in my stilettos. I train in my stilettos. So when you have a respect or a representation for yourself, a lot of people they're not gonna try you. But then you have someone who's just gonna be bold enough to try you. But you gotta carry yourself. Nothing's gonna be a surefire approach. It's never gonna be that way. But you gotta understand that whatever you allow, whatever you open your door to, people gonna try to come inside. They're gonna try.